Hey guys, and welcome to the video guide of the Jabsmania Stamina Templar build. Let's start with the gear. On Tamriel Foundry you will find more possible gear setups. I will show you now the best setup possible at the moment. Most important one is a Ravager gear. You need 5 pieces of it. At the moment I'm wearing the chest and the hand and all the 3 jewelry pieces. Make sure you have stamina cost reduction glyphs on them, on all of them. Then I'm using 5 Hundings with the 2 weapons and 2 Valkin. If you don't have 2 medium Valkin pieces, then you could replace those 2 pieces with either Red Mountain or a Shadow Walker. You just would have to switch around those pieces a little bit, but they're crafted anyway, so it shouldn't be an issue. That would give you another weapon damage bonus, which is also nice. Then for the weapons, I'm using a hammer with sharpened and a sword with precise. I did a lot of tests, and with those 2 weapons, a hammer and a sword, those gave me the highest like damage on Jabs. On the second bar I'm using a master's bow. I'm basically only using this bow because of the weapon damage increase you get if you shoot poison injection at the enemy. Okay, let's get to the stats. As you can see, all my attributes are in stamina. At the moment we don't have any PvP buffs, and you can see I already have 19k health. That's because the Valkin gives me HP bonus, and all the rings give me also health. If you're not using Valkin, you still will have like 17.5k health, something like that, so you really can put all the points into stamina. As you can see, at the moment I'm at 29k stamina, my weapon crit is at 52.5, and my out of combat weapon damage is at 2.4k. You will see when the Ravager procs and I have the pots active, the weapon damage will almost be at 4k, a little bit less. I'm using blue buff food for the increase of health and stamina. Yes, and for the Mundus, at the moment the best results give the Shadow Mundus Stone. If you have over 50% weapon crit, you should use the Shadow. If you have less than 50%, use the Warrior. Before I always used the Warrior, but now it seems the Shadow works actually, and it gives better results if you have more than 50% crit. Okay. Also make sure that you're a werewolf for the 15% stamina regeneration you get. To the champion points. Most important one, the ritual. Here the most important one is mighty. Put most of your points in here and some into the others. I'm still experimenting a little bit, but the most important one is this here. Then I have many points in the lady for those damage reductions. It's basically up to you where you put the points. And I did like half on the Warlord and the Moon Calf. Yeah, there is no optimal setup. It's quite hard to like get proper results with those kind of stuff, because you never know what works and what not. Then to the passives you need for the build. Basically you need all the passives from the class skills, Then go on to the dual wield passives, bow passives, medium armor passives, the heavy armor passives, and you need the fighter's guild passives and the mage's guild passives, and also the undaunted passives, and of course your racial passives. Here I want to explain the adrenaline rush. I'm a red guard, as you can see. The red guard is really at the moment the best choice because, as you can see, I almost get 900 stamina back every 3 seconds. This is crazy. Like, I almost lose no stamina on like when I'm single targeting a boss or something like that. It's really nice. Then you also need medicinal use. That's what most people forget, because your potions will last longer. This is very important, so you have to level up alchemy to 50. Otherwise you will not be able to get the max out of it. Then to the main skills I'm using. I will start here with Quick Cloak. Quick Cloak can proc the Valkyrie set, it also procs the Ravager set. On top of that, it reduces like the enemy AoE damage by 20%. It doesn't do really good damage, but as I said, it procs the Ravager and the Valkyrie. It's the most important one. Also, the Steel Tornado from the dual wield. This is the main AoE skill. You see here it only does all like 3k damage, but once a mob is injured it does double the damage. And with our nice dual wield passives, if the enemy is under 25% HP, it will do another 20% more. So in the end, with the Ravager proc active and the pots active, it does like 10 to 15k damage on a low health target. Then to the main skill, the single target skill, is Biting Jabs. It doesn't look like he can do a lot of damage, but you will see the nearest enemy takes an additional 130% damage. With the Ravager proc active and the pots active, it does crazy damage. Also because it procs Burning Light. So basically, if you use this skill once, you get 4 Jabs hits and 1 Burning Light proc. The proc here, when I'm full buffed, does like almost 5 to 6k crits, so it's really nice. I always use Biting Jabs as soon as there is like 1 or 2 mobs, then I'm using it. Okay, Blazing Shield. This one is only here for protection. If many mobs are hitting you, or you're going in before the tank taunts all the mobs, you should activate this. It gives a good damage shield. You also could replace Blazing Shield with Flying Blade in case you have to go ranged. It does decent damage. Then Camouflage Hunter. I'm still experimenting a little bit between Camouflage Hunter and Evil Hunter. Evil Hunter still looks like a little bit the better choice because it gives you back stamina, but I'm using Camouflage Hunter at the moment because I don't feel like Evil Hunter is working properly. But yeah, I'm still experimenting a little bit. Just check the Tamriel Foundry forum for more updates on this skill. Then Flawless Dawnbreaker. This skill has to be on the first bar because it increases the weapon damage by 8%. Use this skill against undead, it does great damage. Also, I forgot the Camouflaged Hunter or Evil Hunter has to be active on undead mobs because it does like 11 to 12k crits. It's insane. Then to the second bar, I have poison injection here. I only use this skill when I reapply caltrops or I use my ulti. Then I shoot the poison injection and I switch back to my first bar and keep DPSing. At the start it doesn't do that much damage, but because I have the Master's Bow, it increases my weapon damage by quite a lot. And the Master's Bow enchantment, the increase of weapon damage, also works on this bar for 10 seconds as long as this skill is active. And poison injection does amazing damage on enemies under 50% HP. Caltrops, you have to be careful with this one, it costs a lot of stamina. It also kind of taunts all the mobs if you're shooting it into the enemies, and the tank didn't taunt all the mobs, so you have to be careful. It also procs the Ravager and Valkin, so it's quite nice, and it does decent damage. My caltrops crit for like 1.6k and it lasts 35 seconds. I chose the anti-cavalry caltrops because they last 5 seconds longer. The razor caltrops are only 30 seconds and they don't do more damage. This skill here is better, this morph. Then the sad part about caltrops at the moment, it is not stackable, so always make sure that only one person is using it in the same area. Scorched Earth, this skill I usually apply at the start just for a nice stat. It doesn't do really good damage, but then again it can proc Valkin. Same with Blazing Spear. I only use this skill if there is no mob around yet and I have time to like put it on the ground, kind of to reapply those two AoE skills. Yeah, Camouflage Hunter again, and my ulti is the Shooting Star. At the moment this ulti does good damage because it gives me like 60k damage in one use. It's great. And it also, like when you shoot it at many mobs, it refills your ulti already a little bit, because you get like 50 to 60 points back already, which is nice, so you get it pretty fast back up. The rotation for the build is quite easy. Keep up Quick Cloak and keep up the caltrops. Yes, and always when you switch to this bar, shoot poison injection, switch back. AoE skill Steel Tornado and single target biting jabs. Always make sure that you weave light attacks in between with biting jabs. I will upload another video so you can see how I do the clipping. It's a little bit difficult at the start, but you will get the hang out of it sooner or later. Of the build, it's quite hard at the beginning because we rely heavily on the healer. So you have to make sure that your healer is using Repentance. As you can see, at the moment we only get like 900 stamina back. It's because this skill is Magicka based. A healer will get around 3k stamina back per corpse. So as soon as there are like 4 to 5 dead corpses on the ground, the healer has to use it instantly. And yeah, you're almost full stamina again. If that's not enough, then the healer also should support you with Blazing Spear. If the healer doesn't do any of those two skills, you will have stamina issues sooner or later. So you have to make sure that he's at least using one of those. You still can use this skill for yourself, but you will get less stamina back. It's still good, but let the healer use it. Okay. That's basically it for now. I will try to upload more videos and like with explanation through dungeons, etc. If you have any questions, you can ask them on the YouTube video below or on Tamriel Foundry. Thanks.